The people who live on the opposite end of these trees, who have to duck under them just to get to their cars, say they're willing to do anything. These federal court documents, unsealed just this morning, Rita Mays was behind the murder of those 7 veterans. Pack an emergency kit in your car with things like a flashlight, jumper cables, or a pair of gloves. Fairmont Regional Medical Center, a hospital with more than 100 years of history, is closing. His name is Tiny. When he stands up, he's taller than me. If you can make it out of this 1,000-foot long tunnel, you're gonna have to turn around and go 1,000 feet in the opposite direction to get out. This is all the public has really seen in recent years of the Middletown Mall. The folks here have been busy preparing hot dogs all day long. The demand for testing in Monongalia County is through the roof. We're trying to fill as many cars as possible. We will show you what's in this vehicle coming up later in the program. None of them received a heads up, not even an hour's heads up, as to today's monumental decision here at Fairmont Regional Medical Center. The aviation industry is a huge economic driver for North Central West Virginia. Until recently, when we'd get weather like this, one neighborhood in particular here in Pleasant Valley turned into anything but pleasant. 911 officials tell us 3 people were life flighted from this scene. The votes are coming in by the thousands right now, and they are coming in very quickly. Laura Jones has had type 1 diabetes for more than 40 years. Like roughly 30 million Americans with diabetes, she's seen the cost of the drug that keeps her alive skyrocket. The cost of insulin nearly doubled between 2012 and 2016. Even with insurance, the price tag can be crippling.
You could be talking, the cost of a car payment every month just to provide the medication that you need to stay alive.
Luckily, Jones has good health insurance through her employer to cut the cost of her insulin. This vial will cost her roughly $40 a month. Without insurance, it's $250. We are in Niagara Falls here on the Canadian side. You can see the United States right over here. Now, insulin north of the border where we are standing is 1/10 of the cost that it is right over there in the United States. That's why a local group is planning a trip here soon to save money on their life-saving medication. Delegate Barbara Fleischauer is helping organize the 300-mile journey.
A lot of us, including me, need to be educated about what a serious problem this is. I bet everybody in West Virginia has a relative who is either at risk or has diabetes.
The cost of insulin in Canada is cheaper largely due to its publicly funded healthcare system. The government sets the costs. You don't need a prescription here either. It's legal for Americans to buy insulin in person here, but not legal in most states to import them through the mail. Some states have implemented laws to limit prices or allow foreign imports. West Virginia isn't one. As for Jones, she's currently serving as the executive director of Milan Pushkar Health right in Morgantown, working to make sure everyone in her community has quality access to health care, including insulin.
Insulin is not a cure. It is primarily a way to keep us alive and hopefully keep us healthy, but it's definitely not a cure.
For 5 News, I'm Josh Croup, keeping you connected in Monongalia County. It's usually pretty quiet in the small city of Grafton, West Virginia, except, of course, in the band room at Grafton High School. That's where you'll often find junior percussionist Landon Tucker, practicing everything from the tenors he plays in marching band to solo excerpts on the marimba. This room is his refuge from the outside world.
I can just play music and just focus on that, and it just puts me in a happy place almost.
The hours he spends practicing here are now paying off. Next week, he'll represent his city, school, and state on the national stage. Landon was selected to perform at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade with the featured Great American Marching Band. It's a group of roughly 200 students from all 50 states and Washington, D.C. Christopher Rucker is the Grafton band director.
Well, as I've said here, it's giving me goosebumps just thinking about that. And I'm so proud of him and the work that he puts in and the leadership that he has.
In his 21 years teaching, he's had students go on to be music majors, join the WVU marching band, and military bands.
But nothing on the stage quite as big as this.
Such a great opportunity to be able to represent just the state of West Virginia and show people how great people from West Virginia really are.
Landon's audition process began roughly a year ago. He'll play crash cymbals in next week's parade. He leaves Saturday morning for New York City, where he'll spend a few days rehearsing and preparing with the group for one of the biggest parades in the world. His band director hopes Landon's once-in-a-lifetime experience serves as an inspiration to other students, as a story of a small-town kid making it on the big-time stage.
You don't have to come from a big town to be able to experience the things that Landon's going to experience.
For 5 News, I'm Josh Croup, keeping you connected in Taylor County.